Welcome back. Look, in today's explainer, we are tearing apart a problem that plagues almost every single one of us. I'm talking about the overwhelming, chaotic, absolutely soul-crushing daily to-do list. We're going to explore a brilliant framework from Thomas Alethea's book, 12 Steps to a Good Life. Alethea makes this incredible argument that our lack of organization isn't just making us unproductive, it's actually actively standing in the way of us living a truly meaningful life.
So let's just dive right into this. You know that overwhelming anxiety you feel when staring at a massive, completely unorganized list of chores, life goals, and random thoughts. We've all been there, right? You wake up, you look at a piece of paper or an app with 30 completely unrelated items on it, and you just immediately feel paralyzed. And why does this happen? Well, because a list without strict boundaries isn't actually a tool at all. It's a trap. It's literally mixing your deepest, most profound life values with, picking up the dry cleaning.
To get out of this mess, this explainer is going to walk you through a clear, structured plan. We'll hit 4 parts: the productivity trap, the 5 task types, choosing the right list, and finally, doing what truly matters.
Okay, starting with part 1, the productivity trap. Let's really look at why our traditional lists fail us so spectacularly.
Think about treating your daily tasks as a giant brain dump, just throwing absolutely everything onto one messy page. It sets you up for total failure. Your brain literally cannot process the difference in weight between completely reorganize my family's finances and buy a gallon of milk. They just look like 2 bullets. But when you use categorized tasks with strict boundaries, you're actually giving your brain permission to focus only on what matters right now, rather than carrying the crushing weight of everything you'll ever have to do in your entire life.
Because when you lack that structure, you inevitably end up relying on what the source text calls the panic monster. This is that psychological force that takes charge at the absolute last minute, just to scare you into acting. You're acting out of sheer terror rather than purpose. It's like writing a 20-page college paper at 3 a.m. It's a terrible way to live, and it triggers your unconscious mind to resist the chaos, which just leads to massive procrastination. We literally need to fire the panic monster, and to do that, we need a way better system.
Which brings us to part 2, the 5 task types. To prevent your list from becoming a nightmare, Alethea categorizes tasks into 5 very strict types.
Category number 1 is priority tasks. Now, these are the absolute essential items you absolutely must accomplish today. These are your value-driven actions. The source text suggests identifying your first 3 things, the top 3 priorities that actually move your life forward. And the golden rule here is crucial. Do not overload yourself. You have to be deeply, brutally realistic about what you can actually achieve in a 24-hour period. These and literally only these belong on your actual daily to-do list.
Then we have the second type, indicated tasks. These are your obvious, recurring chores, things like doing the laundry, washing the dishes, your daily personal hygiene. So the biggest takeaway about indicated tasks is that they shouldn't clutter up your list at all. Writing brush teeth or do laundry on a priority to-do list just waters down the entire list's importance. Instead, these simply need a designated time in your daily routine. They are indicated by the environment around you, not a piece of paper.
Moving on, the third category is contingent tasks. These are super cool because they flow naturally from one to the next as habits stacked onto other actions. For instance, if you decide you're going to meditate immediately after you finish your morning workout, the meditation is contingent on the workout. You don't need to put it on a list. The actual completion of that first task acts as the automatic trigger for the next one. It creates incredibly powerful stacked habits.
Our fourth category is scheduled tasks. And man, this is a trap so many people fall into. If an event happens tomorrow at 2 p.m., it is a scheduled task. Therefore, it belongs exclusively on your calendar, never ever on your daily to-do list. Mixing calendar events with priority action items just creates pure visual clutter and mental stress. If it has a specific date and time attached to it, it lives in the calendar, period.
And finally, our 5th type, reminders. Reminders are those low-priority, low-stress items that have 0 immediate deadline. Think of things like organize the garage or look into learning Spanish. If you put these on your daily to-do list, they are just going to sit there day after day, making you feel terrible. We've all stared at that organize the garage bullet point for like 6 months straight, right? Instead, you put them on a dedicated reminders list. You review this list occasionally and pull tasks from it only when your time actually allows, which keeps your immediate daily focus crystal clear.
Okay, part 3, choosing the right list. Now that we know the 5 types of tasks, we have to actually put them in their proper physical homes.
It is time to map your newly categorized tasks to specific tools. Priority tasks go to a strict to-do list, which you can even rank A through E if you want. Scheduled tasks go straight to your calendar. Reminders go to that separate reminders list. And contingent or complex procedural tasks, those go into dedicated checklists. You are effectively building a very specific bucket for every single type of demand on your time.
So when a new demand pops up, you just run it through this simple 4-step filter. Step 1. Is this a must-do today priority? If yes, boom, to-do list. Step 2. If no, can it be stacked onto a habit I already do? If yes, it's contingent. Step 3. Does it have a specific date and time? If yes, calendar. Step 4. Is it just a someday idea? If yes, it goes right to reminders. Just by following these quick steps, you can confidently filter anything life throws at you and put it exactly where it belongs, entirely stress-free.
Which leads us perfectly into our final section, doing what truly matters. Because look, we aren't doing all of this organization just to be busy bees.
There's this old English proverb, a place for everything and everything in its place. Stripping away the clutter isn't about becoming some kind of hyper-optimized productivity robot. It's actually about creating a serene, calm, physical and mental space. When your tasks are properly managed, your mind finally stops spinning. And when your mind stops spinning, you suddenly have the energy to focus on what you actually value.
Mastering your lists is ultimately about aligning your life with a higher purpose. When you complete your first 3 things, you're actively acting on your values. You're building good habits and living virtuously. Furthermore, having this structure helps you completely avoid what the author playfully calls the pig, personal instant gratification. You stop feeding the pig with mindless distractions, like doom scrolling social media for an hour, because you actually have a clear, totally stress-free map of what needs to be done.
So I really want to leave you with this thought today. Take just a moment to look at your current to-do list. Really look at that messy, unfiltered brain dump and ask yourself, are you just managing chaos, letting the panic monster run your days, or are you actively, intentionally building a good life? Try separating your tasks into the 5 types we discussed in this explainer: priority, indicated, contingent, scheduled, and reminders. You might just find the exact freedom you've been looking for. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.